Hey, what's up, Dean? Sear Performance. Shop. Kevin's Ranchero. Motor's in. Everything is hooked up. I got to tighten the belt. Everything's hooked up. It's got coolant in it. It's got oil in it. Plugs. I got the RTV on this side. You can see it squished out. The other side, without disconnecting the collector, I could not get the RTV in there because it hits that piece of the frame. Whatever that big piece of angle iron stuff is for, I'm not really sure, but I don't want to deal with collector leaks. I do have new gaskets on the bench, but they never seem to not leak. So I didn't mess with it. I stuck the gasket back in there and just tightened it up really, really good. Double checked everything. Like I said, the oil pressure I am not going to put down there so that it sticks out at the header and the sensor's really close to the header. So I pulled the wiring up. That's the wiring. It's just looped up onto the intake right now because the sensor's big. You know, it's got that bigger body on it, so it bumps into the intake. But I did get the plug out. You can see it right there, that little pinhole down in there. Right there, it's blurry. There it is. I got that out so you can see how close it is to the intake. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little extension, 1/8 inch nipple, and I'm gonna put a coupling on the top and then thread the coupling onto the sensor, and then I'll be able to screw it down in there. There's plenty of room back in there, I think. I didn't even check. Yeah, there should be plenty of room to do that. It shouldn't run into the distributor. So I'm gonna grab that in the morning on my way in. But I did get it fired up, heat cycled. I do need to get some power steering fluid. I had a little bit left in the jug and it is gone. So I gotta get some power steering fluid and then just start working on the tune-up. All I did really was just get it to idle, verified the timing, set the distributor, locked it down, and basically it was at like 190. So I shut it off. I don't want to run the pump, to where it's dry. It has enough fluid in it to run, stay air and idle for a minute. But so far so good. It sounds healthy. I don't hear any chatter. Nothing. So it sounds really, really good. It basically sounds like the other motor, just there's no noise up here, which is good. Then Jonathan's Ranger, you see yellow handle. That is the like a OEM style dipstick tube. It's a brand new one that I put on my motor. So I went ahead and yanked the other one out, which was getting burnt up on the headers anyways. So I went ahead, pulled this one out, bolted it in. You can't see it. There it is, that bolt right there. And then I just kind of used a Phillips head screwdriver, shoved it down in there like a long one, and rolled it up away from the motor. Because I don't know. It hit the coil. Yeah, it just rolled into the coil pack. So I just bent it up a little bit, stuck the dipstick in it. It's perfect placement now. So easily get to that, pull it out, check the oil. Let's see. Oh, I got this, showed up today. That's the harness from like a Mustang for the reverse lights. So I got that. I'm gonna cut the plug off of it. I don't know. I think it's a neutral safety switch or something. I don't know. But it's a plug. It's getting cut off because I only need the reverse lights. And I also got the exhaust clamps. Those finally showed up. So I got the 2 V bands, and then in that box is 2 of those like band clamps that like go over a female side of the pipe, and the other half of it is reduced for a male side of the pipe. Then I got the Hemi. I got it out of the crate. It was in that big crate. I got it out, opened up all the Holley front accessory drive, and holy moly, this is different. Not a Hemi guy. Literally don't think I've ever worked on a Hemi. Yeah, I don't think I've ever touched one, really, to be honest with you. But this is cool. The Holley accessory drive. The entire front cover of the Hemi is this cover that all of the accessories mount on. So if ever you have a failed accessory, you just pluck it off, swap it, go about your day. Water pump, same deal as Jonathan's. It's got the screws. No, they're not lined up because I put the belt on. But it's got the 6 screws in the front of the impeller. Super nice piece. Came with the crank pulley. Balancer. I think it's a crank pulley balance. I don't know. Same as an LS, more or less. Just different design, but same thing. And then came with even the water necks. Look at that. Fancy swivel water necks. One's a 45 and one's a 90, but they're interchangeable. So if the 90 will work better up here, you could put it up here. If the 45 works better here, you could put it here. They sell straights as well. So, or no, I don't know if they sell straights, but they listed an OEM one. An OEM part number is straight. So you can kind of swap around, see what you're going to do. So I got everything on, the belt's on, tensioner. The intake, I found some bolts for the throttle body. I bolted it on, stuck the oil filler neck in, bolted that on. I can't do the PCV hooker dooker thing because there's an intake bolt behind it, but I'm not going to bolt the intake down because it's got, oh, you can't see it. It's got some stuff under there. That connector there's 4 of those solenoids. I think those are VVT or displacement on demand. I'm not 100%. So depending on how his harness comes back, if I need to connect that, I will. Plus I don't want to put it on. It's a little bit taller than I originally thought with the throttle body like that. Throttle body's way back. I think this is off of, I don't know what this is off of, to be honest with you, what this intake's from. Car or truck, I don't really know. So yeah, I'm going to leave it off because when I get the engine hoist and lift it, I have no idea how I'm going to lift it. I don't want to do it on these little corner tabs on the head. I just afraid it would shear it right off. I was lifting it by the front of the block, but now I put all the accessories on. Got to get a cam sensor, which is written in there, non-VVT. It's stamped right in the housing. So that's a cam sensor. Crank sensor we got to get. Got the Holley pan on it. Got all the coil packs on it, the valve covers. It's fully dressed as far as it's going to get dressed before it goes in. The dipstick is there. The water necks, water heater hose, inlet and outlet. All the plugs are in that need to be in. There's one back there, one over here. They do give you a lot of options to run different configurations of heater hoses, which is pretty cool. So all of that is in. It is ready to go. I am trying to get as much done as I can, as efficiently as I can. So like Kevin's car needed to get engine swapped, waiting on exhaust parts. So I'll jump over here. I'll do this. You know, it's just crazy. Yesterday I had to wait for the balancer and flex plate to come. So those finally showed up. I stabbed those on. It was about 3 o'clock. I got them on. About 3:30, I loaded the motor into the car and got a couple bolts in the bell housing, and then absolutely fought with these motor mounts to get them in. But I got them in. Then I lifted the car up. I put all the bell housing bolts, torque converter bolts, tightened up all the motor mounts. I think that was kind of where I left off yesterday. I came in this morning first thing and just started assembling everything. The accessory drive, the headers, everything. Finally got it to the point about 3 hours ago, probably about 1 or 2, that I was ready to fire it up. And you'll also notice I flopped the valve covers from one side to the other. This filter fits better over here with the wires. That filter fits better over there with the wires. They don't have to kind of go around it. I spread them on this side. I think it looks better. I don't know. Then you still can't take the valve cover off because where the fuel pressure regulator is, but we're not going to worry about that. I did try my handy dandiest best prior to putting the motor in. I looked for the fuel pressure wires. I don't see them. I don't know if they depinned them. I have no idea what they did with them, but they're not in that harness. So it is what it is. But you see how that return is sitting on the header. That's kind of a fire hazard, which I need to tighten it. But I actually got it freed up so that I can kind of shove it up higher on the bell housing. The harness is in the way, the fuel line's in the way, everything's in the way. So I could do something like that and zip tie all of this up so it'll keep that from getting on the header. That should work. So I think what I'm going to do, there's still a little bit of heat in the motor. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's 5:30. I'm going to head home, pull Jonathan's truck in. Now I don't have to move 8 million things. I also adjusted the shift linkage. Oh, it was so far off. There's a rod end down there. You can't see it, of course. Oh, I could zoom in. You can't see it. There it is. That nut right there in rod end, that is the shifter to the transmission. So basically I took that off. Yeah, it doesn't focus. Whatever. I took that off and immediately, like, the transmission linkage wanted to push forward. So as soon as I popped the bolt out, I noticed the linkage on the transmission clicked forward a little bit. So I wound it out, and then I went to the back and I pushed the tires. What the absolute... Oh no, I broke it. You idiot. So I gotta get a new sensor. Okay, cool. Glad I saw that. Good talk, guys. But yeah, so I went to the back tires and I rolled the back tires and they spun, the drive shaft spins. It's not even a posi in this. I don't think. One tire went one way, the other tire went the other way, and the drive shaft was spinning all at the same time. So I'm not sure if that's a posi. I don't think it is. I always remember you spin the tires and they go the same way. That's a posi. So don't even think the car has a posi, but yeah, so then I thought, oh shit, you know, the park prawl is messed up. So I came up here and I actually pushed on the linkage and it snapped into park. I went back, the tire's locked. I was like, you kidding me? I looked at the rod end and it was a mile away. So I adjusted the back side of the cable and then adjusted the rod end, got it together. I haven't tested it, but I know it's going to work now because the car is actually in park. I can't push it. So got all that together. I got to grab my laptop. I left my laptop in there. But yeah, we're in a good place. Today was a good day. Yesterday was a good day. Today's a good day. A ton of stuff done. Also, new cap for Jonathan's radiator, and I'm gonna, as much as I hate to do it, I'm gonna take a wet rag, set it up here, and I'm gonna just ever so slightly take a little notch out of here, just because you can see it's hitting. So I'd rather not have it hit. I could have Richard touch up the paint. He could take the cap off, put a little tape and shoot a little paint on there if need be. But I'll take a little notch out of that, and then that'll be on. That's good. Coil brackets. Still got to do the coil brackets. Still got to do the intake. Still got to do the AC lines. 9 million things. I still got a cracked radiator in my truck. Getting close. The Jeep, we're waiting on Red Rock or something like that. Red Canyon. I can't remember the exact name. He keeps telling me it, and I keep forgetting it. I'm an idiot. But yeah, it's like Red Rock, something like that. But they do the conversion kit for the Jeep, the Hemi swap in the Jeep. So I assume it's motor mount, transmission mount, and maybe an adapter for the transmission to transfer case. Not 100% sure on that, but he's still waiting on that stuff. The wiring harness he sent out, they got that. They said, I think they said next week they'll be sending that out. So it'll kind of be good timing with Kevin's car should be done, fingers crossed, tomorrow. Kevin's car will be done. Jonathan's truck should be done in the next couple of weeks. Please. I need to focus on it and just get done with the little things I need to do. Fuel gauge, just the dumb little things that need to be done that I sort of drag my feet on sometimes. But little by little, I'm getting it done. All the interiors back together. So little by little, get it done and just keep going and going and going. But that's it. And then right about the time his truck leaves, should have the parts for the Jeep, hopefully. The Caprice is in the other bay. I should have the transmission back for Jeff and Wood. So I have a lot of, the transmission should be, well, Jeff's is a little difficult because I got to build the cross member, check the drive shaft lengths and all that crap, because we're going from all-wheel drive to two-wheel drive. Wood's truck's a straightforward swap. It's a 4L80 to a 4L80. Should go fairly smooth, but it's just the quick little jobs. I still got DJ's Cutlass. I got to throw the AC box in that. Sat it for a while. He's been waiting. Everybody's always waiting. Super patient. Always waiting on me. But we'll get it done. But anyways, for this one, we're done. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, share the video, and leave me a comment. Have a good day.